We just got some injury news surrounding Malik Nabers, Devin Singletary, and the rest of the New York Giants, and they might be in some serious trouble this Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to break that down on today's show, but we need all the good vibes in the chat. If you want to beat the Seattle Seahawks this Sunday, hit that thumbs up icon. My guy Tyler Jones, host of Seattle Seahawks Today here at Chat Sports, said the Giants now real ones. There is no way that we can get to 2,000 likes on this video. Let's prove him wrong. If you love the Giants and you want to beat the 12s, smash that thumbs up icon. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by, as it is not good for Malik Nabers and his game day status for this Sunday. Nabers has not practiced all week. He is not going to practice on Thursday, and it sounds like at this point it is more likely that he will not play than suit up in Seattle, and that is not good news. Dan Salamone, who covers the New York Giants for Giants.com, tweeting out, Brian Daboll said they will let a final decision on Malik Nabers and his concussion go as long as they can leading up to the ball game. Dan Duggan, who works for The Athletic and covers the Giants, one of the best on the beat, give him a follow, said Daboll said wide receiver Malik Nabers is making progress in the concussion protocol, but he won't be on the field during practice on Thursday. Daboll said they'll wait as long as possible before making a determination for Sunday, but time is obviously running low to clear the remaining steps. Dan Duggan says, I don't see Nabers getting cleared for Sunday. And look, as bad as it's going to be and as bad as we want to see Malik Nabers play football for this team, there is no need to rush him back from this injury, and you never want to rush a player back from a concussion. Look, I know he had the extended time off. Giants haven't played since last Thursday. It's going to be 10 days between Thursday and Week 5. But it doesn't matter how long it takes. Malik Nabers should not step back onto the football field wearing a New York Giants uniform until he is 100% healthy and 100% back from that concussion. Look, we know how special he's been, right? 35 receptions, 386 yards, 3 touchdowns at the top of every single receiving category this year. And the Giants offense has been the Malik Nabers show. And if they are without him, which it sounds like they will, they're going to be in trouble. And someone on this team is going to have to step up and produce. I don't know if it's got to be Darius Slayton. I don't know if it's got to be Wan'Dale Robinson. I don't know if it's going to be Jalen Hyatt, Bryce Ford-Wheaton, Amir Smith-Marset, Tyrone Tracy, Daniel Bellinger, Theo Johnson. You don't replace Malik Nabers with one person. It is going to have to be a team effort, and even then, I'm not sure they're going to be able to do it. And I'm really not even sure, who are they going to turn to? Because you're already using Wan'Dale Robinson at one of the highest rates in the National Football League. The Giants have 2 players inside the top 10 in targets and receptions this year. You're already throwing the ball every third and long short of the sticks to Wan'Dale this year. 38 targets, 4th in the NFL. 26 catches, 4th in the NFL. So the only thing I can ask more of Wan'Dale Robinson is send him on deeper routes and let him work after the catch and throw it on time and on target to maximize the yak. Maybe this is a week, though, for Jalen Hyatt. The guy's played in 50 snaps this year. And if Malik Nabers is unable to play due to that concussion, you got to get 13 on the field. Just if it's for dummy routes, just so it can stretch out the defense and they have to play that too high shell, because everybody knows that Jalen Hyatt can push vertical outside the numbers. So that's going to be a guy that at least you need to play to put some fear in the defensive backfield for Seattle. Speaking of the defensive backfield for Seattle, they are playing at an elite clip this year. They've got 2 really good young corners. Witherspoon, last year, pick 6 on Daniel Jones, saying, we know what Daniel Jones does. But you make him shut up this week, DJ. The Seattle Seahawks have the number 7 passing defense in the NFL, giving up just 167 passing yards per game. So they're already a really good defense. And now you may be without Malik Nabers. Look, I don't feel good about Sunday. I don't. Giants come in as 6-point underdogs. It's already a cross-country flight. Their strengths kind of don't match up, or they do match up with your weaknesses, and your strengths don't match up with their weaknesses. Just not a good matchup for this football team, especially if, number 1, is not going to be playing offense. Sounds like it's going to be more offensive players, though, not playing for the Giants. Dan Salamone adding, we already talked about progress, but running back Devin Singletary will work off to the side today. Hasn't practiced this week. He's dealing with a groin injury. So if Devin Singletary is not able to play, you're going to have to rely on even somebody else to bring you some workload. And Singletary, outside of Nabers, has been the most productive Giant this year. Over 220 yards on the ground. He's got 2 touchdowns. He's making defenders miss at one of the higher marks in the National Football League. If he could just keep the ball high and tight, Tiki Barber style, he'd be having one of the better running back seasons so far this year. But if he can't play and Nabers can't play, it's going to be rough, tough sledding. You're going to need Tyrone Tracy to step up. And I believe in Tyrone Tracy as a player, and I want to see them use him more as a receiving back. We saw last week against the Cowboys kind of run that rail route on the right side of the field. Ball was a little thrown outside. He couldn't haul it in, couldn't get his feet down. But I liked seeing kind of just him being used in different ways, and they're going to have to be very creative in ways that the Giants can use Tyrone Tracy if Singletary and Malik Nabers are out. What's your confidence level, though, in this football team pulling out a W in Seattle? We've been there before when we weren't supposed to win. Shout out to Colt McCoy. Hook 'em. Scale 1 to 10, your confidence level in a Giants win this Sunday. If there was some good news to talk about on the injury report, it would be the defensive backfield for Big Blue. Adoree Jackson did not play against the Cowboys. He's been dealing with a calf injury, and he is supposedly returning to practice on Thursday in a limited capacity. So getting him back will help against the Seattle Seahawks offense that throws it every single down. Also, Andru Phillips, he's back at practice in a limited capacity on Thursday. He's dealing with a calf injury, just as is Adoree Jackson. So if you're able to get back Drew Phillips and you're able to get back Adoree Jackson, that is definitely going to be a boost and help you get closer and closer to pulling off a win against the Seahawks offense right now that is absolutely cooking. Geno Smith is having one of the better seasons at the quarterback position. I know he's got 4 interceptions, but he's completing nearly 73% of his passes, and he's already almost thrown for 1,200 yards this year. And he is the signal caller right now of a Seattle Seahawks offense that is clicking and cooking on all cylinders. And they have loaded skill position talent. DK Metcalf last year, he scored on the Giants versus Deonte Banks. Deonte Banks said in the offseason that the receiver that talked the most noise was DK Metcalf. So that's a matchup I'm going to be looking to watch as Metcalf scored on Banks last year. JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, he's having a breakout year, over 226 yards on 25 catches. And Tyler Lockett, even though he's always avoiding contact, he finds a way to get it done. That is an elite trio of pass catchers that Seattle has. And their offense, they are showing why they are one of the best and not just one of the most talented. 9th most points this year, 5th most yards per game, and number 1 in the National Football League in passing yards. They've been without Kenneth Walker for a couple of weeks. He returned last week. He went off. What do you have, 3 touchdowns last week for Seattle? They also have my guy, Zach Charbonnet. He's a solid back, so maybe they look to be a little bit more balanced. But this Seattle offense is serious. And if Shane Bowen doesn't have a good game plan drawn up, there could be a lot of points going up on the scoreboard at Lumen Field. Coming up next, though, I'm going to show you how the Giants can win this game. Even without even without Malik Nabers, even without Devin Singletary, the Giants have a clear and easy path to win this game. I'll show you how they could do it, but first, show some love to the rookie. May not play Sunday, but he is the face of the franchise already. Chatsports.com/Nabers. Get your Malik Nabers jersey today. Chatsports.com/Nabers. Be a real one. Show some love to the rook. Alrighty, if the Giants are going to beat the Seattle Seahawks, it is going to be because the Giants are able to generate pressure against Geno Smith. Here are Geno's stats this year when it comes to passing pressure. When he is kept clean in the pocket, he's completing 79.8% of his passes for 8 yards per attempt. 842 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. When Geno Smith is under pressure this year, he's completing just 58.2% of his passes. And he's thrown all 4 interceptions this year when under pressure. When he's blitzed, he's completing 75%. So what does that mean? You need to get pressure with your front 4. If you blitz him, he will beat the blitz. He's done it all year long, completing 75% of his passes when blitzed. But when under pressure, He is completing just 58%, and he's thrown 4 picks to just 1 touchdown, which means number 97, number 0, number 5, and number 51. This game is on you. If the Giants are going to beat the Seattle Seahawks, it's because Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Azeez Ojulari dominate this game. They wreck this game. They muck up this game. They don't let Geno work from a clean pocket. They have to be the game changers. They have to be the X factors. It's the only way I see them getting it done. If they win, it will be because of the pass rush. Geno's having to get the ball out quicker than he wants to. Geno can't go from read to read to read. And we know throughout his career, when Geno Smith is under pressure, he is likely to turn the football over. And you're going to need a couple of those if you're going to pull out a win in Seattle and you want to have a happy flight coming back to New York. Predict the score for me in the chat. What's going to be the score of the game this Sunday? Giants, Seahawks. I can't give my official score prediction because I don't know if Nabers is playing. But let me know your thoughts at this current moment. And make sure to hit me up on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Instagram, same handle. Hit me up over there. Give me a follow. And let's go, Big Blue.